I'm Philip Lanos, and today we have Craig Goodliffe with us, the CEO of Cyberbacker. Now, launched in January of 2018, Cyberbacker is one of the fastest growing remote working companies. Currently provides online services to over 1,000 companies around the world. Craig participated in the development of Cyberbacker's world-class profit sharing structure in February of 2020, giving a total of $226,644 back to its associates at the end of that year. Now, seeing that tremendous growth of the company, Craig decided to start franchising Cyberbacker with a goal of making a dent in global poverty on a greater scale. Now, also, Craig has also been a coach and coaching people to achieve and exceed their goals after working as an NLP coach for Sentient. Craig moved on to Keller Williams in 2015 and is currently an executive coach for MAPS and for real estate business owners there. He uses real world coaching skills along with proven systems and models to drive results. He spent over 10,000 hours coaching and teaching others to build a plan that they can execute while implementing powerful solutions. Suffice it to say, Craig enjoys coaching people who are truly committed to hitting their goals and helping them uncover their purpose. Craig, thank you for stopping by to the show. How are you doing today?
Thanks. I'm humbled just to hear you read that, Philip. So thank you.
Oh man, come on now. When you've done as much as you've done, right? You've interfaced with so many people, put in countless hours, stepped into the cyber world. Both of these have mission-driven objectives, right?
Yeah.
One is to help others, and the other is to help others, but in another way, right? With poverty, and then the other really is with like internal poverty and the way they see their things. I have to ask, were you always this way, just hardwired sort of on a genetic level, or did you come from a family that sort of instilled these values in you?
Well, I would love to say I came from a family that instilled the values from me. However, most of it was people I surrounded myself with. And when I went ahead and I got to Keller Williams and I met some of the people there, they became great, great friends and mentors. And I saw people in the company reaching out. We do this thing called Red Day, where we donate a day where we're going to go improve the community that we live in. And as I was being a part of that, and I saw, people helping people be better, and I just became part of that community, it just made me want to do more and wanted to give more. And that's just kind of what happened through growing up and I say growing up because I've been at the company since I was 23 years old. It just made me want to do more and kind of spending my time there. So I'd love to say it's a family thing. It's a little bit of, but it's mostly who I've surrounded myself with since and who I continue to surround myself with today. So a lot of the people, the first time I went over to the Philippines, I think I actually saw poverty for the first time in 2016. I'd worked with people from the Philippines. I'd been to places in Mexico. There are people who have dirt floors who the way that they live, I just scratch my head and I think you live like that? Like, really? And when I saw that, I realized I've never had a bad day in my life.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a wake-up call there. And why don't you walk me through? I can understand the path going into Keller Williams, and becoming an executive coach in real estate. In 2018, though, you did something interesting where you sort of stepped out and launched Cyberbacker. What was the thinking that was going behind Cyberbacker?
Well, so being a coach has been a lot of fun, and working with another coach. One day she said, listen, we're both coaching 67 people, and you've got a real estate business that's selling 200 homes a year, and you do group coaching programs, and you have nights and weekends off. What are you doing that I'm not? And I said, well, I've got a fantastic assistant. And she said, how do I get a fantastic assistant? So I helped her out and I found someone that's great. And she said, I'm saving 15 to 20 hours a week. I feel like I'm getting my life back. And that was very rewarding and fulfilling. And someone else reached out and said, hey, you helped Jeannie. Can you help me? And I said, yeah. And I thought, this is doing some good. What would happen if we kept going? And so I still to this day coach. I still go ahead and I'm part of Keller Williams. And building Cyberbacker the way we have, it just started out with there was a need because I saw a lot of overworked people and I saw a lot of people globally who just wanted a job and wanted an opportunity to go ahead and provide for themselves and do some good in the world. And so that's what caused that to happen. I think it was just seeing two needs and being able to put them together.
What would you say was the hardest part about launching Cyberbacker for you?
There are so many. If I had to give you the biggest, finding great people, that's probably the first biggest. I mean, right now we get on average 6,000 applicants per week, and we only make it through about 2,000 interviews per week. And that's just primary interviews. Some of them, in fact, all of them, we have to go ahead and do a couple interviews with, plus some background research, make sure they're not posting bad stuff on social media. And I mean, we usually only, unfortunately, are able to provide jobs for about 1%. Because right now, I mean, we're still a young company. We can only afford to hire the best of the best. I mean, business owners are trusting us. They're betting their company on us, and we have to be able to perform. So that's the challenge now. Going back, though, I can remember waking up one morning in October, getting an email from PayPal that says we're suspending your account, or we're keeping your money basically for 180 days and choosing not to do business with you. Now, we just collected from our clients and we hadn't paid our cyberbackers yet. So here's $136,000 that PayPal just took from us.
Jesus.
And I called my attorney. I called everybody. Next thing I did, I called the airline, and it was a Thursday morning, got on the airplane and found myself in the Philippines Sunday night, set up banking in a week. And I still didn't know if it was going to work. And I thought that was going to put us out of business. I thought, this is it. We are done. And I can remember sitting in the back of a taxi, and they have street children in the Philippines. And there's this little, just cute little girl, probably 8 years old. And she's holding this little white sampaguita flower. And the street children will go ahead and sell those flowers to make some money so they can eat. And here I am thinking PayPal just took everything, and I don't know if I can keep this company alive. And she's just trying to eat. And I know the leaders in my company would help those street children if they had it. But truthfully, you can't give what you don't have. And so I went ahead, and I'm a spiritual person. I just went ahead and I said a prayer, and I just said, if we can get through this, I'll go ahead and I'll give away a portion of the company's money so the leaders in the company can do better. And we constructed and built a profit share program. And the goal for the first year was 50,000. We profit shared 226. And closing out September's books, we've actually profit shared $515,000.
Wow.
So
Somehow the orchestration of those events almost makes sense in retrospect.
yeah.
Man, so what's the future looking like for you for Cyberbacker? Like, where do you see it going forward? This is towards the end of this is what is Q4 of 2021. Q1 is coming up.
Yeah.
What's your vision? Who are you looking to connect with? Are there any partners you're interested in hearing from?
Oh, several. One of the big things right now that we're focused on is providing jobs for 15,000 people and profit share of 5 million by the end of 2025. Because when we do that, we'll have the first group that'll be able to live off profit share. It's vested, they're fully funded. And so we're doing that. We're doing loans for them so they can buy cars and houses. Because when I talk to them and I says, what do you want in the world? And they just want stuff that comes really easy to us based on where we're born. So being able to provide that to them, and we created a company that does those loans and stuff like that. And the people we're looking to connect with is, number one, people who share our same heart, that they want to do some good in the world. They want to make a dent in poverty, because it really just, to me, I hate using the word unfair, but it does seem unfair that no one had a choice on where on this planet they would be born. And some of us, we were just born in somewhere that had more opportunities, and that's all it comes down to. So we're looking for people to connect with people who are abundant, who want to give, who come from the same place we do, who kind of have that heart, kind of have that passion, and they can see that this could be beneficial in their world. And so that's kind of, when we franchise, that's who we're looking for. People who, they know business, they know something maybe I don't know. Like, I don't know a whole heck of a lot about accounting, like being an accountant. And I've had an accountant tell me, I could have someone who went ahead and helped, staff my bookkeeping side of my accounting business. I could have someone who could answer the phones. Well, I'm not the right guy to go ahead and put together what that accountant needs, because I've never worked in that. So we're looking to partner with people like that as a franchise owner, who are going to say, okay, I own the accounting franchise of Cyberbacker, and they can help other people go do that while creating jobs.
Amazing. Okay, good to know. I interface with a lot of people, and one of my missions, uh, being in the position that I'm in, on the very same level that you are, is I always make it a point to discover who it is people need to connect with. And given that I have the opportunity to interface with so many successful people in their own verticals,
Yeah.
I'm going to make it my mission to make sure I introduce you. And I already have someone in mind, to the accountant wizard. And we'll talk more about that after this call.
Awesome.
But it's definitely something that I'm excited about, because that's why I asked. Just like you, I'm trying to do my very best to impact society in any way that I can,
Yeah.
and make it matter that I'm here. And it only makes sense.
Oh, I
I
love that.
really love the energy that you're putting out, man. It's needed. You know, somebody needs to do it. And people always say that, right?
Yeah.
Somebody should XYZ.
Hmm.
And you took it upon yourself. I am somebody.
Well, I think there's that old phrase, it takes a village. And now that the world is so connected through the internet, it's a bigger village. And all of us we have a responsibility to take care of each other, emotionally, more than anything. Just being someone's friend, just caring about them, that goes a long way. And there's a lot of people right now who they just need that. And some people it's financially. But if we all work together and we empower each other, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, there's no reason that people can't go ahead and all win in the game of life. So if we could just go ahead and just lift each other up and, just share and just care about each other, the world would be a lot different place.
100%, especially after reaching your goal of being able to generate 5 million in profit share. And that's just exciting.
Yeah.
Talk about an ambitious and exciting and impactful goal.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Now that's a mission to wake up to.
Well, Philip, it's a little selfish. Like, I'll be honest, this is a selfish thing because I get messages from people in our company. I let them message me directly. And I'll have people, they'll be everything from, I was able to buy my mom a comfortable bed. And that was someone's goal. They just wanted to buy their mom a comfortable bed. To, I got air conditioning. To, I bought my first car. To, I bought my first house. To, I'm able to hit my family's needs. I get one of those messages almost every day. And it is so gratifying that when people say, what makes you want to go to work? Well, I get motivation every single day because their stories are part of my life. And I'm humbled and honored to be a part of theirs.
Absolutely. And I feel like it'd be a missed opportunity if I didn't take an opportunity to explore your coaching expertise before we start closing out this conversation, because it's worth highlighting that you've been doing this for a long time and have built incredible systems and have proven that this is what you do just as a human being. It's a part of your self-expression that turned into a profession. So with NLP and real estate coaching, with the way the world is today, and I think this is part of the reason why you've been so successful in Cyberbacker, what can you share with people who may have a hard time getting into the groove, into a flow? As a coach, if it was upon you to sort of reflect for a moment and say, okay, the world is tough right now, but one thing you can always anchor on is XYZ. What would that be?
Yeah, it's knowing your purpose, knowing your mission. And if you don't know why you're here, then your mission is to figure out why you're here and what you want to do with your time in this life. Because none of us went ahead and got an expiration date on our birth certificate. We don't know when this ride's over. And if you go ahead and you just live your life in your physical body, and when it's over, it's over. There's people who are immortal because they're known for thousands of years. And I don't know why anyone would choose consciously to not go ahead and do something that's worth remembering. Figuring out your purpose, figuring out what makes you happy, figuring out, and it doesn't have to be you're going to create a big company. For some people, I talked to one guy, his dream life is working at the gas station and just being around regular, everyday people. And for me, that's a success. He knows what he's doing. He knows why he's doing it. He knows what he wants to do. And that's it. But why are you doing this? Because the reason that you do this will get you through your hardest days. The reason I didn't give up when PayPal took our money was because I knew why I was doing it. And I had to reinvent my why, because before that, it was, I'm seeing people in my company win. I'm seeing them go ahead and make money, and I'm seeing them successful, and that feels good. When it became something more, it was a new why. And the why that everyone has, because everyone has a why. They have a reason for what they're doing that's gotten them to the level of life they're currently experiencing. If you want to move to a different level of life, you're going to need a better reason.
Hell yeah. if people are still hard-headed and just need something like concrete, if I do this, then I'll be one step closer, or I'll have a further clue as to what it is. Sometimes people can't see the label on the jar because they are the jar. So if you had just one exercise you could offer someone whether it's, go out and just do something and make a mistake, whatever it is, something along those lines. What could someone do to get closer to discovering their why?
Well, it's important to have, and I truly believe this, your time at the gym where you're taking care of your physical body. There's also time in the mental gym, and you've got to maintain good mental hygiene where you're putting good thoughts and things like that. But putting the time in and putting the work in is simply a pen and paper with no distractions and just sitting down and writing out questions and answering them for what you want. And I think that's one of the lost art forms, truthfully, because we're in a world that is highly distracted and highly inundated with information. And just to go ahead and just put everything on away and say, I'm going to take an hour of disciplined focus and it's me, and I'm going to, take this pen and paper and I'm just going to sit and write. That's where it starts.
Wow.
And people ask me all the time, what's the difference between coaching and teaching? You're a teacher? You're a motivator? No, coaching is pulling the answers out. Teaching is putting the answers in. Truth is, we have the answers inside of us. We just need to pull them out. And so sitting there with a pen and paper and writing out, what's my purpose? What do I want out of life? Who do I want to be? What are the experiences I want to have? And just spending time asking yourself great questions and writing the answers, that changes everything. That is life-changing.
I love it, man. Craig, you're so full of wisdom, man, and spirituality and just positive energy. I can feel, and I'm confident that anyone who listens to this, their vibrations, their posture will change just a little, just enough to say, all right, it's time to reset. It's time to dust off the shoulder, get up and try again, whatever it might be, whatever. There's always, you have things, I have things. No one can avoid these struggles. You overcame something that would have made most people quit the minute that PayPal held the money. Most people would have been like, you know what? My why wasn't good enough. I'm done. But you reinvented yourself right there on the fly in true spirit of entrepreneurship and took things further and deeper to the next level and came out on top and now have an even more ambitious goal. And what a reminder to entrepreneurs everywhere, or would-be entrepreneurs who are listening. That's the kind of drive, ambition, determination to transform yourself that you have to have in order to be under the flag of entrepreneur or just a human being, right? Which is entrepreneurial in a sense. Mm-hmm. So for me, I want to roll out the red carpet and invite you to share with the listener where it is they can connect with you, what you want them to know about, any calls to action.
Yeah. So I'm pretty, I always go ahead and I get nervous, but I still do this right now. If you want to find out more about Cyberbacker, cyberbacker.com. It's a great company. I'm honored to be a part of it, but I'm a real person that you can reach out to. My email is craig@cyberbacker.com, CRAIG@cyberbacker.com. I openly welcome emails and meeting great people and hearing your story. And I really am grateful for the opportunity to do that. And you can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and the places that everyone is. Just type my name into Google and you'll find me.
Awesome. And that's Craig Goodliffe, and that's Goodliffe for the listener. Yeah. Craig, it really has been a pleasure. I have one question that I close things out with, and I hope you'll indulge me, but you're also welcome to pass. And that is, if you could have invited anybody today, dead or alive, to sit here with us and chat the way we just did, who would it have been and why?
My first mentor as an entrepreneur, wonderful businessman, on his own since he was 14, took care of himself since then, had kids at a young age, ran a company to where it was in the top 50 in the state of Utah. And it's my grandpa. And he was 39 when I came along and just treated me from childhood till he passed away in 2018, always like an equal and always like a partner. He taught me to think about business. He taught me to think about others. And a lot of the days that I go ahead and I'm just being me, I think about him when he would just sit there in his building, and it didn't matter what the people he worked with were going through. He was there. He was an ear, and his goal is to take care of his people. And so a lot of what I'm doing is just emulating my grandpa.
I love that. What was your grandpa's name?
Dennis.
Dennis?
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Dennis. And Craig, thank you so much for all that you do. Again, invite the listeners. Craig said it himself. He's approachable. He's a real person. Check out cyberbacker.com. And Craig, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.